Hey everyone, this is Tappers here again, and welcome back to the Kirby Superstar Let's Play. When we last left off, we completed the Great Cave Offensive 100% with all the treasures, all 60 treasures in tow, and now we are heading to some really dark territory. That of the Revenge of Meta Knight, or, well, Revenge of Meta Knight. Reactor 1, output normal, adjust the balancer to 003, stop it around there. Let's raise the anchor, anti-gravity plan, okay, 3, 2, 1, okay. And basically the story of Revenge of Meta Knight is taking his halberd to go around Dreamland, put an end to the lax nature, as he pretty much states right in the text, and Kirby is there to stop him because I'm pretty sure he destroyed Kirby's cake in the process by complete accident. And we get more cutscene dialogue, which I am not reading because it's going too fast, and all we know is that the knights that say Meta are there, and also Captain Val, who's some rooster captain bird, and of course Meta Knight. But you'll notice immediately that this style of game is much more different than anything else we've seen. We have a time limit, and it's a lot more action-paced, and it's a little bit darker, but at the same time, the story is really nothing new or whatever. But starting this off, I want to take Beam for a spin and enjoy the curious dialogue. Release Heavy Lobster quickly. I mean, I would almost say this has something to do with Zero Wing or whatever in terms of dialogue, because there's some translation issues, but it's like, whatever. But yeah, we've got our first boss, Heavy Lobster. But we need to hurry because we're going to get blown away by both fire, the main engine, and takeoff. So we need to escape while we can. And we get blown away, and Heavy Lobster gets dismantled to pieces. And ouch, that ricochet must really hurt. But yeah, Kirby's dead because there's no way he could survive. And we get blown into the ocean. The Orange Ocean, to be exact. And we need to hurry because they're going to conquer Grape Garden. Because we are definitely getting back into the old school adventure territory, whatever. It's got some pretty cool tropical music, and we get to see the joys that's the beam power-up. And also, I should state this for the record that I've done attempts of Revenge of Meta Knight a bunch, but eventually I decided on one particular attempt because there were some things I didn't show off, but I don't particularly show everything off because I think there's some missing dialogue. I may point it out, I may not, but yeah, that was a mini boss that doesn't really matter. But I think the main reason why I decided to take Beam quite a ways in this sub-game is because I can do some fancy tricks and also some grapple beams and stuff, channeling my inner Samus, except not really. Screw you, Scarfy. You can't survive water. But also beware of shooting air bullets when you see those bombs, because they will still explode, kind of like the Scarfies did in the original game. Also, you get crazy momentum if you puff yourself up when you get to those air pockets, or whatever you want to call them. But yeah, more side-scrolling goodness, because we are going to be seeing that a few more times in this sub-game that we're playing. But this is also kind of where I do like to screw around a bit, and I know one of my attempts kind of messed up because I lost the beam power-up in the water, and I'm starting to hiccup. I'm really glad I have some water, but another reason why I have Beam is because I can snatch the Scarfies and the Rockies so that I can just pound them into oblivion or into the spikes, except kind of not really. But one thing I kind of don't like about some of these auto-scrolling segments is that sometimes it doesn't really need to scroll, or it's like I don't really understand how it works, really. But that's besides the point. But yeah, we're back in Dreamland because we're facing off against Wispy Woods. And yeah, why are we facing him? Well, naturally the point is to actually get a Warp Star to materialize, and I guess by Kirby logic, you only get warp stars when you defeat a boss, and naturally he has to be our whipping boy. But now we have a little surprise in the form of Twin Woods. At least that's what's particularly called. And he's not particularly hard, but, well, he is considered hard because I've died several times. But be aware of some of these new attacks, like they spin while they're rooted in the ground. They can also lose segments and switch them with their partner for some really stupid reason. But yeah, we get a warp star out of that, and we're getting ready to wreck their shit again. Shall we blast him? Alright, shoot him! And I'm totally not using my Nico voice, my Garuda Nico B voice. I don't know why I peeked the mic there, except, I mean, look at him. He's got the Craigasm face. It's just awesome all around. Now, the sprites, or the portraits of all the Meta Knight characters do get updated in Ultra, and I guess sort of look better and not as derpy looking like Captain Vol there. But that's kind of besides the point, as we got the Candy Mountain music playing again, because, well, spoiler alert, we're kind of in the area of Dynablade. That's kind of why this music's playing to begin with. Although, oddly enough, they only play this music and not the other ones. They don't play Peanut Plains or Mallow Mountain, or Mallow Castle. But fortunately, we get some cool stuff like Mike again, as we fight two bonkers, which is not actually that bad, but it is also the part of the game where they start to throw multiple mini bosses at us at once. Not sure why I went off on that sentence, but we do want to have the hammer ability, because there is a couple of secrets here, which is pretty much just this one. What you don't see is a one-up next to the Max Tomato, for whatever reason. I think it might be because it decided to spawn after I had a previous attempt, which failed, or, yeah, it failed, because I must have done this like at least 10 times or so. I'm not even sure why I'm mentioning this. Mostly because I have really bad looking deaths early on. But so naturally this will be a deathless run of Revenge of Meta Knight, as we just wheelie through everything because we definitely need to. But now, this is kind of where I was kind of hoping that my wheelie partner would have gotten stolen, because we actually need a different power in order to progress and get slash cheap shot right there. We need Pyrelio for the fire ability, because we need to enter the cannon, or we need to prepare for something once we blast off and explode in a barrel, because that one was a trap. We fell for trap. We need to go in this one by lighting the fuse. We could also have Jet. Well, I mean, if we mix abilities, which I don't know if I even show in this, but, well, just like Nightmare and Dreamland, if you inhale two abilities, you get the mix option, and then it'll just go through a roulette. And hey, there's Dynablade. We get to ride Dynablade back to the Hellbard, because I guess Dynablade is in debt and owes us one, and we never see Dynablade ever again, because it gets shut down, and we're part of PETA, so we get to threaten them and all that stuff, except, well, not really. I'll stop going on about that, but I don't know why, but I was really not doing so good on this part, because I'm trying to boost through and try to preserve a lot of health, but apparently I can't do that, and the reason I need to is because we got another mid-boss fight, or rather, we have the Meta Knight endurance test, as I would like to call it, and that fireball, that rolling fire, actually blocked the cutter boomerang thing, and we get some more dialogue that we got caught in a trap, which, I don't know, that dialogue just doesn't look fitting for Meta Knight for some reason, where he's like, Kirby, got ya. It's like, it just seems a little awkward. I don't know what the word for it is. It just doesn't feel appropriate for who we're talking about. I mean, and another thing that should be mentioned is that Meta Knight I mean, he can be considered like an anti-hero, but he rarely is considered kind of like an antagonist because he's testing Kirby. But this is, I guess, one of the games where it's a bit darker in that he's actually trying to conquer Dreamland, I guess? Or it might be just the ultimate test. But then again, he's also putting his crew at risk, I guess you could say. Because, well, we've already went through some of his crew before, and, well, actually, I guess Adventure Nightmare Dreamland, the crew kept coming back for more because it's Kirby right back at you. Now, I grabbed the Crash power-up because there's a part where it becomes really helpful. I mean, I could grab some other power-up, but the reason will be very evident right here. We have two mid-bosses. We have Jew Kid and we have Poppy Bros Sr. This is an area I don't want to be fighting two at once, especially two that are different. So I decided to go with Crash to kill both of them instantly, and I also grabbed Suplex. I'm not really sure why, because, I mean, I don't particularly use it, and I was going to say, oh, how am I going to get down here, because there's actually a secret passage, except not really.
Oh no!
Oh no is right, because we found the armory, or not, no, not the armory, this is just the stock room, or the pantry, I should say, where we can stock up for a upcoming boss here, which is a bit annoying, and it should be noted that you can take the invincibility to the boss, and it gets really happy, especially when everyone goes crazy with the laughing and the invincibility power-up, and I can't get enough of that, well, face portrait of Garuda Man, except not really Garuda, but this is Combo Cannon, one of the first unique bosses we have at the Hell Bar. There's technically to destroy, you just need to take out the circulatory cannon thing, but you can also destroy the beam cannon. Now, I should also mention that another reason why I re-recorded Revenge of Meta Knight is because the frame rate, or not necessarily the frame rate, but the visuals don't really show up in the video like the laser cannon. Although, I mean, it still had its issues, and if we have the ability Yo-Yo, we can kind of get inside the hitbox and do a ton of damage, sort of. Or infinitely do a spin attack, sort of thing. The main cannon has been destroyed, and we get one of the best portraits ever. Holy cow, what just happened? Did you see those slick moves that Kirby just pulled off? He's a breakdancing king. And then that happened, which is technically the first death that I'm allowing, because I did bad. So we get the dialogue again. Holy cow, what just happened? Did you see those slick moves Kirby pulled up? He's alive and kicking after falling into that pit, yo! But anyway, we're heading to the left wing in order to progress through this area and avoid getting shot by lasers. But what kind of bites is that I have the jet power-up, but I guess for some reason I decided not to use the jet booster thing and instead just grab the yo-yo power-up so I could blow up these bomb blocks. I mean, I could have easily charged up for the ultimate power, but I decided not to do that. Instead, opted for something more reliable, again, because I guess yo-yo is friend, and unless you just fall into the pits like an idiot, and also carry your partners because we're a really good guy, usually. And suddenly, more Mr. Frosty. I can never get enough of him. And our partner also is smart enough to block attacks. And we just do that. We do a cool yo-yo pulling trick. We walk the dog on him, or I don't even know what to call it. But yeah, we just blew up the left wing and we just caused them a bunch of problems. 74%. And more squealing going and stuff. Now, there is some more curious dialogue where apparently they're trying to increase the power of the wing, but they're also causing imbalance by or maybe not. I'm probably looking not as far into this, but I also love that Knuckle Joe that just goes into the broiler and dies immediately. But apparently, Rooster Garuda Man has an idea of ambushing us, probably, or some cunning plan. But we're sort of not going to have anything to do with it because we're going to find another secret area. Inside here, if we go up, is the armory. And we got a ton of awesome looking powers, but we can take anything, including Mike, which we could blow out everybody's eardrums, but I actually want to have the hammer power up, at least for a little while, because we get to actually fight Heavy Lobster for real, but not just yet, as we get to see every single face portrait of Rooster Man and more auto-scrolling goodness, which is not exactly good, but that's kind of besides the point, as apparently doing so is actually destroying the chip. The chip. It's Chip's challenge, not really, but she seems really impressed by the fact that he is destroying the ship, or not even caring about it. But oh, I guess we're not actually going to fight Heavy Lobster after all, so I think we're good to infiltrate and destroy the ship. But no, he's just going to pop up right here, but we're going to just bat the hell out of him, and naturally we're going to beat... Oh, no, I guess we're not using the hammer. Actually, there is something very unique, which I didn't show off in this battle, but it's only going to work for this one. There is a unique power-up we can get from Heavy Lobster, but we have to actually wait until he releases it. But he also alternates between different attacks like the fire, the mini lobster, and this, the paint blob ability. And if we do that, he's become blind. And apparently there's a lot of fourth wall breaking, because I guess either he knows that's an ability or whatever, but also Heavy Lobster is very sporadic and doesn't know what to do. Now, I might have killed him too early and missed some dialogue, but at the same time, maybe not. So we destroyed the right wing because of that, but apparently he was willing to sacrifice Heavy Lobster in order to rebalance the ship. But I mean, it still can't be particularly good. Also, I think this area has a missing piece of dialogue, something about Kirby hiding in the clouds or something, but I'm not going to go back doing it because I did show off most everything. These guys being cowards for one, and them being chickens, which is, I guess, not relevant at all. And that could have been easily dangerous if I didn't land on that platform while grabbing the ability. And yeah, this is actually maybe our first time seeing the plasma ability. Or no, wait, I did show it off during Great Cave Offensive, but it's one where you have to mash the control pad in order to do a variety of attacks. If you don't charge it up, you just do a very weak needle. If you do it a tiny bit, you'll get an arrow, which does go full screen, and then the rest is like a circular cannon, or a spiral cannon, and a cannon shot, or sparks. Also, if you charge it up enough, you'll get a shield that protects you from projectiles. Wow, that was a tongue twister almost in of itself. But there is one more secret that I didn't show, and I don't really need the plasma anymore right now because I can just take Yo-Yo again, which is very common in this game, sub-game place. But the last secret is actually one I missed because I didn't remember which part it was, and it was right here.
Oh no!
It's Captain Spear Guy's room where he hid a bunch of food again. And you know, for a game that's supposed to have like a dark tone, there's a lot of kind of like idiocy, or not even idiocy, but sort of funny, quirky moments, as you can see right there. But yeah, now we're heading to the reactor, and if we can destroy this, we can take out the blades, or blade? No, this is not the blade. This is, well, Kirby's version, or Kirby. Mario RPG's version of the blade, with this being the halberd, and we have the reactor. This boss you can't harm yourself. Instead, you have to actually get it to hurt itself. And I find it really odd that they give you a bomb power-up even though you don't really use it. This boss also has some weird hit detection issues, like the cannons I can't even really land on or whatever properly. I mean, you can destroy certain things, even if it's pointless, but in a way you're almost up to RNG as far as like if certain things will hit. Like sometimes that laser may have hit, but sometimes it wouldn't. But yeah, now we've kind of destroyed the ship and it's getting ready for a crash landing, so now all that's left is to make it to the end. And you might be wondering, why don't I have the bomb power up all of a sudden? Well, if you pay attention to my life total, I actually got another death, so I may include this in the counter, but because this is an auto-scroller, I got crushed in an area, which is really infuriating, and is pretty much, it should have signified that I am not good with Ninja in this game, because it causes a lot of problems, as you will soon see, with these stupid canister tire container enemy things. And like right here, I should have probably died, but fortunately, because the pile driver that I did on the sleep enemy actually goes through landscaping platforming, I didn't get crushed. But it was I had to cut out like a minute and a half because I died right in that area before. But yeah, Captain Garuda is gonna retreat because he's a coward and can't fight for himself, while Meta Knight's crew decides to stay by. Now, the audio, or not the audio, the dialogue in that section with his crew deciding to stay inspiringly or whatever is different in Ultra, because in Ultra I think there's a lot more remorse shown by Meta Knight, because he kind of regrets saying that his crew probably should have helped stay behind to stop Kirby or something. I might have things backwards, but beyond these doors we actually get to have the one-on-one duel to decide the fate of Dreamland, which is that of Meta Knight. And yeah, a death in a Kirby game, that's kind of frightening. Also, I forgot to mention that's Sailor Waddle Dee, who becomes Spearhead Man Waddle Dee, Mr. Bro Code or whatever. But yeah, we get the sword duel again like we did in Adventure, and it's got a lot more intense nature because we actually get Meta Knight's battle theme, and it's really good, if I say so myself. And a lot of Meta Knight's attacks are pretty dangerous. He has the Cyclone attacks, he also has the Beam Saber, the Down Slash. He also does sort of like a dashing sort of, does he show it? No, actually he didn't show it, but he jumps in the air and then he does a diagonal dash across the screen, and that can do some damage. But if you get sucked in that tornado Tempest thing that's broken in Smash Brawl or whatever, then you're gonna get the pain. But yeah, only 40 seconds left to escape, but fortunately we have Wheelie Rider to help us out as we hear the intense theme while Meta Knight tries to do his best in making sure that Kirby can't escape, and also parts of the ship that impede our progress, like those random bumps. So you have to be careful. Now, it is possible to die or lose time or whatever, but well, you don't see that. Like right there, I think I would have been able to jump anyway, but yeah, we still had plenty of time, 12 seconds to spare, as the Halbard smokes and gets ready to crash in Orange Ocean. And if you look carefully, you saw probably a little speck of dust dot kind of fly up into the air. Apparently Meta Knight and who knows else actually escaped the Halbard that sinks in the ocean. It doesn't explode, which I'm kind of surprised, but anyway. Yeah, that's the Revenge of Meta Knight. It's a really intense game, which I kind of like, and later games with Meta Knight involved do involve time, but it's just more of a time attack, seeing how fast you can go, but not without the pressure of completing before time's up, as we get to watch the credits roll of our ability sprites and our our helpers and their names. There are some that we didn't actually get to see. Like, I don't know if I mentioned Capsule J, and I didn't actually mention that Bugsy is a partner when you have the suplex ability, which you sort of might see. Also, that Chili's kind of cute with the puff up cheeks. Kind of reminds me of, I'm not sure what it reminds me of, but yeah, there's Bugsy and Kirby, Suplex Kirby doing the fusion dance with only himself. Also, Parasol Waddle Dee. Unfortunately, there is no Parasol Waddle Doo. But yeah, that's the end of Revenge of Meta Knight, and this unlocks Milky Way Wishes, which we will be tackling next time. So this has been Tapras, and I will see you again next time. Take care.